stage. Wait till you see her. She's gorgeous. And this is her first time to the stage ever, and lots of you are here to see her. Please, a warm round of applause for our honey bun, Sparkles in the Blue, Muriel! Have fun, baby. Have a blast.
Good evening, everyone. I am Muriel, and I'm happy to be here. When I'm not here, you will find me in a classroom. I am currently teaching third graders, and I'm really excited about that this year because for the first time, I am actually taller than my students. Last year, I taught fifth graders, and teaching in a fifth grade classroom is like teaching in a revolving restaurant. The view is constantly changing.
Hey, Misty, we got to go to our band lesson now.
And 4 students would just get up out of the classroom and go out the door. Miss D, sorry, but we gotta go to the PT now. And 2 more students would go out the door. This is all while I am teaching. And then about 5 minutes later, 3 more students would quietly get up. They would grab their briefcases and they would head in sync out the door to the gifted program. Third graders are really very welcoming, and they tell things honestly. My students complain all the time about having gym after lunchtime. Misty, I get so gassy at lunch. I'm afraid I'm going to run around and end up with diarrhea. I can attest they do get gassy after lunch. So we study the science curriculum program is all about the river, and this year we went down to see the river in person. And the first thing that caught my students' eyes were a frog. Unfortunately, he was dead. But I took that as an opportunity to teach them about the survival of the fittest law. And then the second thing that caught their eye was a pile of dog poop on top of a rock. And so I took that opportunity to talk to them about the importance of pooper-scooper laws. And then finally, what really was the highlight of our trip was they saw a pair of dragonflies that were mating. So I took that opportunity to tell them that their homework that night would be to talk to their parents about the dragonflies. Thank you. A lot of people are downsizing today, and I'm downsizing as well. But I'm not moving into a smaller house. I am literally downsizing in height. I found that I need to use salad tongs to reach anything on the top shelves of my kitchen cabinets, like paper plates and napkins and snacks and drinking glasses. And salad tongs work really, really well, except one day I pulled down a bag of Skittles that had been opened. And it was like pennies raining down from heaven. And just like at Lourdes, a miracle appeared before my eyes. I have a 15-year-old dog, and she's very sedate. But miraculously, when those candies hit the ground, she got up and started going all over the kitchen floor trying to gobble them up just like Wayne Gretzky after a hockey puck. So I want to know who developed the gas cap release button on the floor of my Honda. On the floor. I literally have to take off my seatbelt, bend all the way over at the waist, duck my head underneath the steering wheel, and all of this is while I'm holding my French cruller from the Dunkin' Donuts. Every morning I go to Dunkin' Donuts, and I always have the same thing happen to me. The voice behind the counter is talking to the person behind me, who is obviously taller. And that person is looking down at me and pointing their finger at the invisible shrinking human in front of them. So I said to myself, you know what, Duncan, you need to hack into the program that the Ticketmaster people use. Because every time I call Ticketmaster, I get the same friendly, helpful voice. And this way, I would not be overlooked at Dunkin' Donuts. Miss Muriel, how can I help you today? Rashid, I'd like a tall glass of iced tea, please. And while you're at it, could you just release the gas cap release button on the floor of my Honda? I live in Trumbull, and Trumbull has some trespassers, and they've been trying to break into my house. They are peering in my bedroom windows. They are looking in my doorway. They are stalking me. And it is causing this mild-mannered school teacher to say something that you would not expect me to hear. Or to say, I should say, you're going to be hearing it. I absolutely hate fucking stink bugs. The brown marmoset ones, the ones that scientists call BM for short, I call them shitty. Now, I am like Clark Kent. I am here for truth, justice, and the American way. Well, the truth is that Allentown, Pennsylvania successfully hid the Liberty Bell from the British. Trust me on that, I'm a teacher. However, they really screwed up because they actually discovered the stink bugs in packing crates that had a lot of cheap crap from China. And they did absolutely nothing for that. And the scientists say that these bugs are not harmful. They only eat garden plants. But I say that's bullshit. Because my house is surrounded by concrete and stone, and I'm not even Italian. I blame these bugs why this mild-mannered school teacher has turned into bitchy Cruella de Vil. I have no free time. Every moment of my time is on my hands and knees, crawling around, trying to caulk up the crevices to prevent these bugs from coming in my house. And I can feel so much for these holes that I could get a job as a proctologist. Well, one remedy I read online said you can catch these bugs in a cup and then you can just let them go outside. But I'm telling you, that was written by a stink bug themselves, because who would do that? And I know when your dog did not eat your homework, and I know that your mom did not misspell her name when she signed the bad note last week that I sent home for your behavior. So don't believe that. There's another great idea online that I read about, and it said you can chop garlic and spread this all around your house. And that would work really well if you were bothered by vampires and also had a problem with your BMs. But a remedy that I really like is to take and catch these bugs in prescription bottles. Now, we have a lot of those. We, as Americans, filled 5.8 billion prescriptions last year. You can trust me on the math because I'm a teacher. Anyways, I would fill these with my stink bugs, and I would put them in the freezer. And I would keep them there until a very cold, blustery, and blizzardy night comes along. And then you take them out of the freezer. You open them up, you put them on a paper plate, and you let it go, let it go, let the storm rage on. I always hated bugs anyways. Thank you very much.
And she had that coat made for this show. As if it couldn't get better, by one of my favorite drag queens on the planet. I mean, amazing.